what I really have to say, what I like is, when you look at the exterior, the car is instantly recognizable as part of the ID family. And when you look at the rest of the car, I really do like the shape of the SUV. I do like the space it offers, and on top it offers loads and loads of modern technology, like up to a 12-inch touchscreen in the center console, augmented reality combined with a head-up display, and typical Volkswagen things like quality, nice materials, nice craftsmanship. That car is a bit like the world electric car Volkswagen, because it will be sold worldwide. And Volkswagen says that car is 100% electric and 100% SUV. I can't tell you about the SUV because I didn't drive it already, but I can tell you, of course, it is 100% electric, and I'm quite sure that car will find its customers, because in Germany, the entrance model, which starts next year, will be available for prices less than 37,000 euros. The top model is available from about 59,000 euros, which is exactly the same level as the Tesla competitor. This setup here is a very nice example to present how an electric Volkswagen setup works. And you can see the front axle, the rear axle, and in the middle you do find this big battery. And important to know with the ID.4, there will be two different batteries available, a 52 kilowatt-hour battery and a 77 kilowatt-hour battery. And the bigger one, that then delivers the car a maximum range of 520 kilometers fully loaded. And when you want to recharge the car, that works easily. Of course, you can use the household socket, which takes ages. You can use a wallbox, which goes a bit quicker, and you can use the quick charger. And the important thing here is the car offers a maximum charging power of 125 kilowatts with a big battery. If you use the smaller one, it's only 100. But nevertheless, that means that you can quickly recharge your big battery when needed, and that gives you about 320 extra kilometers in only 30 minutes. On the other hand, that battery has a weight of about 500 kilograms, which is quite a lot. But when you look here at the whole picture, this electric car only features a small engine in the front, and if you have the four-wheel version, a small engine at the rear, but nothing in between. And so you really save some weight, and overall, it's still very agile.
The ID.4 will be available in 5 trim levels. In addition to the basic version Pure, there are Max and the current variant First to choose from. The basic price for the ID.4 Pure with a small battery, which will be available from 2021, should be less than 37,000 euros. The first version is available from around 49,000 euros and the fully equipped ID.4 First Max from around 59,000 euros in Germany. At first glance, a good offer. Knowing that Tesla Model Y is available from about 58,000 euros and the Mercedes EQC from about 69,000 euros, it even sounds better. But a real competitor could be the 4.60 m long Polestar 2, for which an entry-level version has also been announced at a price below 40,000 euros. And then there is the corporate brother Skoda Enyaq. It is a little larger than the ID.4 and will be offered from prices less than 34,000 euros.
Talking about the boot of the ID.4, we really find SUV sizes, because that car features with the rear seats up 543 liters as a maximum, and that sounds a lot, but the Enyaq, by the way, offers about 40 liters more. But when you fold down the rear bench, you then find 1,575 liters, which is a really nice number. What I really like with the cars, you will not only find a second floor underneath here, you will also find an extra compartment down here, which is really nice to put things in the boot which will not roll around and which nobody else can see from the outside. Looking at the side of the ID.4, you instantly see these big wheels here. And this is because that car is featuring the maximum size 21-inch. Unfortunately, the car comes as standard only with 18-inch alloys. Looking at the whole car, it is 4.58 meters in length, and that means it's about 7 centimeters shorter than the Skoda Enyaq, but it is 32 longer than the ID.3. The funny thing is the wheelbase is exactly the same as with the ID.3, which is 2.76 meters. The car is on top 1.61 meters in height, which is very similar to the Skoda. And when you look at these proportions, that really gives you the SUV look. And one thing where you can see that we talk about an SUV are the claddings here at the wheel arches. There's not so much extra ground clearance, but I think wheel arches and the proportions and shape of the car really tells you this is an electric SUV. And the eye-catcher at the tail of the car are for sure these tail lights, because they not only come in LED technology, they also are very three-dimensional, and they're covered with this glass surface here. And that really gives the car the absolutely unique look from the rear. As with the front, you do find a real eye-catcher at the side as well, and these are these door handles of the ID.4, because they are really integrated into the door, so you can just slide over with your hand and you will hardly feel that there are any door handles at all. Looking at the rear of the ID.4, you can really see how massive and solid that car could stand on the road. And this is really one of my favorite views of the car. And very important here, as you see, we talk about an SUV. So this is like a fake underride protection, and it's this typical cladding that you will find as so many other SUVs' tails. A very important thing with an electric car is, of course, aerodynamics. And so that car, when we talk about the design, is a mixture out of very floating surfaces and very sharp edges. And that together with this massive roof spoiler up here gives you drag coefficient of only 0.28. That sounds very nice, but on the other hand, the Tesla Model Y, for instance, only has 0.23. Looking at the front of the ID.4, you instantly see that car is bigger than the ID.3, and exactly it's 4 centimeters. That car is 1.85 m in width. And when you look at the color, this is a special color which is only available for the first edition, but at the end of the day there will be 7 different colors available for the ID.4. And when you look at the headlamps, the ID.4 always comes with LED headlamps, but this car is featuring the optional LED matrix light. And it doesn't matter what kind of trim level you will order later the day, the front of the car will always look exactly the same, except the headlamps. A real eye-catcher at the front is this light bar between the 2 headlamps. I really do like that a lot. And it's a bit of a pity that Volkswagen wasn't allowed to illuminate the Volkswagen logo, because by law in Germany, you're not allowed to say, we have a brand's logo which is illuminated on a driving car. Being inside of the ID.4, you instantly see, yeah, that's a new and fresh car. And different to the Skoda Enyaq, which we reviewed a couple of days ago, we find a completely different screen in here. The screen size is the same, but the position is completely different. It's not integrated into the car. It's really something that looks like it's flying inside of the car, so not really connected with it. And on top of this, you do find, of course, a modern steering wheel with all these sensors here. So no knobs and other controls. Everything is sensor. That is here. You do find the same here, where you can swipe, and as you see, gesture control is working as well. You do find the same with the light control here at the rear, at the left side. So that is really very modern. And if you're a big fan of knobs and buttons, that's definitely the wrong car for you. Looking at the center, you do find a standard, a 10-inch screen, but you can have up to 12-inch. And that for sure is not only a standard system, it's a modern one. So you can configure the home screen the way you want. You can, as you may know from other cars like the new Volkswagen Golf, you do find live data, you do find internet connections and all the other stuffs you may want to have a look at. And the rest of the car really feels, very fresh, very modern, and you sit inside of the car because the car really is wrapped around you and gives you a very cozy, very nice feeling. And you do find modern materials, very nice craftsmanship. So I really have to say, I absolutely do like the interior. Regarding to the space here at the front seat, I don't know how it looks like, but it's very comfortable, even for a tall person like me with nearly 2 meters height. I really do sit very nicely in the car. How about behind me? We're going to find out now. So now I've jumped onto the rear bench, and I think I do pay a bit of the price because it was so comfortable at the front. I do find less space in here, but nevertheless, I'm nearly 2 meters tall and I do sit behind me. And as you can see, there is some space left in front of my knees, not so much, but unfortunately I do not have any space left for my foot because they will not work underneath the front seat. But as said, I'm 1.95 meters high. I'm quite a tall person and I do sit behind me and that car. And I really have to say, yes, for a short trip, that's absolutely fine. For a mid-trip, that'll be okay. And for a long trip, no, I would not say that is my first wish on the list. But on the other hand, normally I'm allowed to sit in the front row. There will be up to 5 different power levels available for the ID.4, and they deliver a range between 109 up to 150 kilowatt as a maximum. Important to note that the cars that will be delivered at first are only rear-wheel powered cars. Later then, there will be cars available with all-wheel drive, and also very important to note that the car's top speed is limited at 160 kilometers per hour. But I heard some rumors, and they said when they will deliver the all-wheel drive version, the Performance or Pro version, they may offer you another 20 kilometers per hour on top. Talking about the materials and the craftsmanship, I really have to say, yes, it is a Volkswagen, which means you do find very nice materials, very nice craftsmanship. You do find leather, you do find metal, you do find glossy stuff. So very, very nicely made. And when we talk about the seats, I really do like them a lot because they're not only comfortable, they also offer enough support, and I do like the shape of them as well. And important for all the people who not a big fan of leather. There will be an alternative coming up, I think, next year as well. Talking about compartments, you do find quite a nice compartment in the door, a very nice compartment down here, and 2 cup holders over here, and of course the glove box. So you do really find enough space to put your stuff in. You do find loads and loads of glossy black stuff in here. It's not only at the dashboard, it's also here at the center console with the sat nav. It's here with these elements here, and you do find it down here at the center console as well as on the steering wheel. That really looks very nice, as you know. But as you also know, is this is something where you do find scratches quite easy, and where you do find fingerprints all over the car. So you have to have your towel with you to clean it up daily to make it still look good after a couple of days. Also on board is the new voice control system, which gives you the opportunity just to talk to your car. And when you start it by saying hello ID, the car starts, just like I say, reading your wishes from your lips.